assuming they, that wall is actually, it's just part of its core. Like they put a slab in.
It's probably a slab or
Yeah,
something.
just a slab.
Yeah, because this is new, right?
This is all new, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty level. It's not 100% level,
Yeah.
but that's because when they construct it, people don't, quality control is not
Yeah,
what it used to be. They think, okay, it's straight. Somebody else would say, no, it's not straight. You need to do it a little bit better. But there is no definite bend. There's no sign of any movement. This is, what do you say, 2 years? Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything in
2 years?
No, probably just a year and a half at the most. I mean, because foundation goes in first, yeah. It's about a year.
No, this looks perfect. It's great. Everything new. See, these are the not so good windows.
See, yeah, well, what happens here, I think this is it's a wheel. And it's just a wheel adjustment.
These are the newer windows, and not as good. The ones up there I really like these windows. They're so much better because they're much better. Even though they look not as good, they work much better. These windows, I have these in my house too. After a while, they get everywhere. But that's what they're building nowadays. You won't have anybody building windows like that anymore.
I noticed some of these walls, like this part here, it's just not exactly.
Yeah, that's a quality control issue.
Oh, okay.
It has nothing to do with settlement. They just, they put this board out and say, oops, it's a little too long. And rather than cutting it straight, they just came and put this one in, and so it's got a little bit of an angle. It's just because it's not.
Easy fix.
Yeah, and like this isn't perfectly lined up here. That's all construction quality.
Okay.
I've seen details like that in $5 million homes.
Yeah.
Very expensive homes, and they still do these things. It really matters who you hire as a contractor. Some of them will do a very good job, others not so good. Yeah, that looks great. Okay.
And there's nothing under that crawl space you saw that was.
Like I said, nothing really important.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of moisture.
If they wanted to improve the diversion of water so that they could be, they could minimize moisture under the house, what?
Well, water comes from uphill and from the sides, usually. Uphill, we can look at it, but there's not a heck of a lot you can do there. Here on the sides, there's always a potential that, you don't have the rain gutter here. One of the things you might want to consider is putting rain gutters along this side of the house, because the water comes down and it hits right here, and hopefully it flows downhill. But water's not perfect. Some of it could flow a little bit in this direction, right, towards the house. And your roof is big compared to your yard. So when it rains a lot, I bet you'll see a lot of water coming down here. And so rain gutters may be something worth considering on this side of the house. The other thing that we sometimes do is, this is fairly flat, and for surface runoff, sometimes we like to place it a little bit like this. So a little bit more dirt on this side, a little less on this. If there's any water, it will roll away from the house rather than towards the house. I'm not so sure we'll do that at this point. It's not something that's urgent. But certainly rain gutters will come in handy. And you always worry about your neighbor giving you water, but it's pretty flat. Again, it's something you really have to come out and look at when it rains a lot. This is the CMU wall they're talking about. And probably what happened in the past, water was flowing down here towards a house, right? And they decided to put this retaining wall so the water comes back out this way. How good it works, I don't know. They put a little drainage here at the base. Maybe it's working. like I said, there's a little bit of moisture over there, but some of it seeps in sideways.
Yeah.
So I think once you put rain gutters in,
It'll be a good precautionary.
yeah, much better.
This is like the whole side.
Yeah. I'm surprised, the other side has rain gutters, but this side does not.
Yes.
I don't know why.
They put only one side.
Yeah.
Maybe they build it like that. Like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't.
And when you do the rain gutters, put the downspouts on that side, obviously, because you're closer,
Okay.
rather than on this side. But that's where a rain gutter person keeps some.
Yeah.
What are these, cannonballs?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Ooh, right? Ancient cannonballs.
They put one here and then go down that way.
Which is good.
I think this comes out way down there, and that's correct. That's the correct way to do it. Yeah, because you don't want it running over the surface, so you really want it to go through a pipe, and that's good.
Yeah.
But it is possible that there's a little bit of water that comes this way and drains towards the house, and that's probably why they put that wall there. Up here, it's probably going to run mostly down the street. So, I would start by not worrying about the moisture underneath it.
Okay.
And the only thing is if you see any of these footings moving a little bit, then you can start thinking again. But at this point, I really don't see any sign. The side of the house is pretty straight. For a 1930s house. Mine is 1960s and it's bowed out like 3 or 4 inches. Yeah, so no, it's very nice. Well, they build better houses in the 1930s than in the 1960s.
Oh.
Really, no, really. They use more solid wood. They use more columns, more beams. I found that from looking at inspections. The older houses are much better built.
See.
It's not very
1960s.
reassuring.
Yeah. And nowadays you get some good ones and some bad ones.
Depend on the constructor.
Yeah. I mean, I've looked at hundreds of these, and it's surprising to see.
Okay.
So that's.
Okay, the carport.
It's nicely sealed out.
There's this little, I don't know if it's a cosmetic factor that they try to show in something.
Yeah.
Or there's a shift in some.
Well, there's a rock wall underneath
There's a
that.
yeah.
And the rock wall is probably from the original house construction. And rock walls don't last forever. Rock walls, especially if there's a little bit of moisture underneath them, there's a little crack over there, there's little cracks over here, but they're okay. And they obviously notice it, and so they put this concrete cap on top of the rock wall.